chosen. If this message has reached you, don't ignore it. There is a gift being placed in your path, something wrapped in good intentions, but carried with a hidden shadow. The enemy never attacks directly when he knows you have already learned to protect yourself. He acts with cunning, offering something that seems like a blessing, but is actually an invisible chain. If you feel that something is wrong, if your intuition is screaming to look twice, listen to that warning. Not everything that comes your way is a blessing. Not every hand extended is there to help you. There are gifts that don't liberate, but actually imprison. So, start this video by writing in the comments the number 777 to declare to the universe that you will no longer be deceived by gifts that imprison, and that your freedom comes above any false offer. Take this moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications to continue receiving revelations that protect you from these hidden traps. The trap never comes with a danger label. It hides behind a generous gesture, an unexpected favor, an opportunity that seems too good to be true. The chosen, by nature, has a pure and grateful heart, and it's exactly this kindness that manipulators try to exploit. They know that you have difficulty turning down something given with a smile, but what seems like a gift is often a disguised burden. Once accepted, it demands a price you never agreed to pay. You feel the weight, but don't understand where it's coming from, until you realize that you accepted not just an object, but a bond. What happens when the enemy realizes he cannot destroy you? He tries to buy you. Not with money, but with gifts, with supposed blessings, with favors that come laden with ulterior motives. Many of the chosen have fallen for this trick, allowing their energy to be drained little by little, without realizing they were being trapped in an invisible web. But now, you have a choice. Now, you can see beyond the surface. And once the truth is exposed, there's no turning back. The question you need to ask yourself is, what are they trying to get you to accept? Not every gift is a gift. Some are bait. The chosen is tested not only by pain and challenges, but also by the unexpected gifts that appear along the way. Have you ever noticed how, at certain crucial moments, something seemingly advantageous appears in your life? A favor, an invitation, a valuable object given effortlessly. But the real question is not, what did I gain? But why did I receive this? Nothing comes without intention. Some things are given to create a debt, to establish a power bond, to trap you in an invisible web of obligations that will soon demand a price. The greatest trick of the enemy is never direct violence, but the strategic offer. He knows that the chosen won't bow to fear, but they might bend for gratitude. That's why he hides behind generous gestures, hoping you'll accept gladly without questioning. The manipulator doesn't need to steal your energy if he can make you give it away willingly. He just needs to convince you that the gift is something you desire, that it will benefit you, that it will bring you advantages. But as soon as you accept, you realize the donation was not free. The gift was an invisible contract, and now something inside you feels trapped. This can happen in many forms. It could be advice that seems wise but secretly distorts your view. It could be an object filled with intentions, something that, once it enters your home, changes the atmosphere around you. It could be an opportunity that seems to open doors, but in reality, puts you inside a prison disguised as freedom. These traps don't come with warnings. They arrive as something good, something that seems like an unexpected blessing. But the chosen must learn to look beyond the surface. Not everything that comes to you is from God. Not everything that presents itself as a favor is truly a benefit. Many have accepted a cursed gift without realizing it. They received something and suddenly felt an inexplicable weight on their shoulders. Their energies were drained. Their thoughts began to confuse. Their clarity disappeared. This happens because gifts carry intentions, and intentions carry energy. When someone gives you something, they also transfer a fragment of what they carry inside them. If a gift comes from an impure heart, from a manipulative mind, from a soul full of envy, or a desire for control, then it is not a gift. It is a channel, and by accepting it, you open that connection unknowingly. Chosen, have you ever felt that something changed inside you after accepting something from someone? A feeling of restlessness, an invisible weight, a disconnection from your own essence? This is not a coincidence. The gift you accepted may have been more than just an object. It may have been a spiritual opening, a concession of power, a silent invitation for someone to access your energy field. What enters your house enters your life. What you receive, you begin to carry with you. That's why not everything should be accepted. Not everything should be kept. The chosen must learn to discern. The world teaches that refusing a gift is rude, that we must accept everything graciously so as not to seem ungrateful. But the truth is that a chosen one must be selective. Gratitude is not in accepting everything, without question, but in recognizing what truly adds value and what comes to destroy. The fear of offending someone can be costly. There are gifts that trap, favors that control, supposed blessings that enslave. Those who wish to manipulate you are not offended because you refused. They are offended because they lost the chance to entrap you. Those who mind that you refused something are exactly the ones who wanted to bind you. A gift given with love never comes with hidden demands. But a cursed gift will always demand a price. And the greatest trick of those who play this game is to expect you to accept without questioning. That's why, chosen one, don't be afraid to say no. If something inside you hesitates, if your intuition warns you, if your peace is shaken even before accepting something, trust that feeling. This might be the last trick of those who can no longer defeat you openly. The final attempt to lead you astray from the path already laid out for you. The real danger isn't in the gift itself, but in what it represents. There are things that seem harmless when they reach your hands, but they carry silent commitments that trap your soul without you realizing it. You may feel grateful, you may even convince yourself there's no harm in accepting, but over time, the gift starts demanding something. It requires loyalty, demands presence, weighs on your shoulders as if it were your responsibility. Suddenly, you find yourself trapped in something you didn't ask for. What was given has transformed into a bond, and now you feel you owe something to the one who offered it. The chosen must understand that manipulators always give before they demand. They don't appear demanding anything at first. First, they offer something. They give a gift, do a favor, offer a path. They convince you that you received something valuable. But everything has a price, and when the time comes, they bring the charge. Not necessarily in words, but in gestures, in looks, in expectations. You realize that by accepting, you opened a space that you now can't close. You didn't ask for it, but now you feel you must repay. And that's exactly how the invisible bond is formed. The greatest danger is when the gift not only binds you, but begins to change the way you think. You've already accepted it, and now you start justifying. You begin convincing yourself that everything is fine, that it's normal to feel this obligation. You start blaming yourself for wanting to distance yourself. And this is how the web closes around the chosen one. He doesn't realize he's been caught until it's too late. When he realizes it, he's already entangled in an imbalanced relationship. carrying a burden that wasn't his. But there's always a sign. Something within you knows. Something inside you feels that something is wrong. In the Bible, even the wisest kings were tempted by offers and alliances that seemed advantageous. The gifts they received came with hidden intentions, silent pacts, doors opening to dangerous paths. The enemy always tries to trade something for your destiny. He knows you won't sell your soul, but he will try to make you give it away, piece by piece, without you realizing. The chosen one must stay alert, because what starts as a small concession can end up leading to great enslavement. The gift might be small, but the debt it brings can be immense. Many chosen ones have felt this. They accepted something and suddenly began feeling heavier. Their thoughts became confused, their energy drained, their intuition muted. They distanced themselves from their essence without understanding why. This happens because certain gifts are portals. They carry the energy of the one who gave them. And if the intention behind the gift is not pure, that energy settles into the environment, the mind, the spirit. What seemed like a simple act of generosity can transform into an influence channel, a tool of control. The chosen one must know when to shut that door. It's not about living suspicious of everything, but about developing discernment. If something feels heavy, if something makes you hesitate, if your peace is disturbed when receiving something, that's already a sign. The spirit senses before the mind understands. But many ignore that feeling, rationalize what they've already felt. And then, the cursed gift fulfills its purpose, to bind the chosen one without him realizing. But what has been accepted can be rejected. What has been received can be returned. The chosen one is not obligated to carry burdens he didn't choose. And here is where many fail. They feel the weight. They recognize the burden. But they are afraid to say no. They're afraid of seeming ungrateful, of offending, of confrontation. But a true gift never demands anything in return. And if someone is offended because you rejected something, then that gift was never really meant to help you. It was meant to bind you. Chosen one, freedom is not only in knowing what to accept, but especially in knowing what to refuse. You owe nothing to anyone who tries to tie you down with something you never asked for. And if the gift weighs more than it should, then it was never a gift. The chosen one often feels guilty for wanting to refuse something. He was taught to accept everything with gratitude, to never say no to an offer, to see every gift as a sign of blessing. But there is a great difference between true gratitude and emotional imprisonment. The enemy knows you carry a noble heart, knows that you feel bad about rejecting something, and it is exactly that goodness that he exploits. He uses generosity as a trap, knowing that once you accept, your conscience will do the rest of the work. But the truth is, not everything that comes to you is meant to be accepted. The chosen one needs to understand that gratitude does not mean blind acceptance. He cannot allow himself to be so naive as to think that everything that comes to him is a divine gift. Many have been deceived by this belief. They opened their doors to those who only wanted to drain them, accepted favors that later turned into burdens. True spirituality is not only love and acceptance, but also discernment and wisdom. Not everything that shines is gold. Not everything that presents itself as a gift is meant to add. Some things come only to steal, to divert, to interrupt the path. The greatest illusion created by manipulators is to make the chosen one believe that saying no is a lack of humility. But there is nothing wrong with protecting your energy, with selecting what enters your life, with rejecting what doesn't resonate with your spirit. The chosen one was not made to carry unnecessary weights, nor to let himself be manipulated by those who try to use his nobility against him. When you feel guilty for rejecting something, ask yourself, is this guilt really mine? Or is it something they're trying to impose on me? Because a true gift shouldn't come with this weight. Intuition always warns. You've felt it before. You received something and, in that moment, felt that something was wrong. But you ignored it, rationalized, convinced yourself it was just a passing thought. Yet later, the signs came. Energy drained, inexplicable fatigue, difficulties arising. Out of nowhere, what seemed like a blessing turned out to be a burden. The gift didn't come alone. It came loaded with hidden intentions. You didn't notice, but by accepting it, you opened a door for something to enter your life. The chosen. One must learn to listen to his spirit before listening to his mind. And there's another point that few realize. Some gifts are tests, spiritual tests to see if you've truly learned to discern. Life always places these trials in your path. You've overcome challenges before. You've won internal battles. You've distanced yourself from situations that held you back. But have you learned to say no to what seems harmless? Because the enemy doesn't need to bring you down by force if he can convince you to carry a weight that isn't yours. If he can make you accept a chain willingly, then the prison becomes voluntary. The chosen one who learns to discern realizes that not every gift should be kept. There are things that need to be returned, objects that need to be burned, ties that need to be cut. The real lesson is not just recognizing the trap, but having the courage to reject it, even when everyone around you says you're exaggerating. You don't owe anyone an explanation for what you feel. If something weighs you down, if something bothers you, if something takes your peace, then that's already reason enough to step away. There's no need for justification. Those who are upset because you rejected something didn't want to help you. They wanted to bind you. A gift given with a pure heart carries no demands, comes without hidden expectations, requires nothing in return. But a cursed gift will always have a hidden purpose. And the greatest illusion of those who offer these gifts is expecting you to accept without questioning. But chosen one, now you know, now you see. And from this moment on, you will never be manipulated the same way again. The chosen must understand that rejecting something is not an act of ingratitude, but of wisdom. There is a spiritual power in the word no, as it protects, defines, and preserves what is sacred within you. When you accept something without questioning, you open a door without knowing what's on the other side. But when you learn to refuse, you take control. You become the guardian of your own energy. And that is exactly what those who try to manipulate you don't want you to realize. They want you to feel obligated to accept, to feel guilty when rejecting, to be afraid to stand your ground. But the freedom of the chosen lies in recognizing that they owe nothing to anyone. It doesn't matter who extends their hand, it doesn't matter what is offered. If something doesn't resonate with your spirit, it shouldn't be accepted. The world teaches that we should be polite, that we should accept everything graciously. But that is one of the greatest tricks to trap the chosen in situations they never asked for. True respect is not in accepting what harms you, but in staying true to what you feel. A gift that steals your peace was never a gift. It was a trap. The enemy's greatest trap is expecting you to get used to submission. They throw small baits, small favors, small concessions, and expect you to accept them without resistance. But when you finally realize the game and begin to say no, something happens. The masks fall. Those who offered you gifts with ulterior motives begin to show frustration, irritation, even anger, because they never wanted to help you. They just wanted to trap you in a cycle of unspoken obligations. They count on your hesitation, your fear of appearing ungrateful. But when you break free from that, you destroy their plan. Chosen one, how many times have you felt that something was wrong but accepted it anyway? How many times have you realized that a gift felt strange, but you kept it out of fear of seeming rude? And how much of that have you carried without realizing you were being manipulated? This needs to end. You have no obligation to accept something that drains you, that limits you, that controls you. You don't need to carry anything that didn't come from God. And, above all, you don't need to explain yourself to those who are bothered by your freedom. Those who truly want your good respect your discernment. Manipulators always react badly when you begin to refuse. They try to convince you that you're wrong, that you're being ungrateful, that you're seeing things that aren't there. But what they're really saying is, I lost control over you. And this is the most important moment in the chosen one's journey. Because when you start rejecting what doesn't belong to you, you begin to see who is truly by your side and who only wanted to use you. You start to realize which relationships were based on forced exchanges, on silent obligations, on the game of domination. And it's not just about objects. There are gifts that aren't physical, but rather words, promises, emotional bonds that were imposed on you. And if you feel that something is draining your energy, that something is diverting you from your path, then that gift needs to be discarded. Many people carry weights that don't belong to them because they accepted words they should never have heard. They were cursed with false prophecies, with curses disguised as advice, with compliments that were actually traps. But the chosen, who wakes up to this reality, will never be ensnared again. True spiritual freedom begins when you understand that you owe nothing to anyone but God. You don't need to please. You don't need to justify yourself. You don't need to accept anything. Your soul rejects. The gift that imprisons was never a gift. The favor that comes with a price was never a favor. The chosen one who learns this becomes unshakable. Because those who once tried to manipulate them realize they've lost their influence. And this is their last trick, trying to make you doubt your own perception. But now, you see everything clearly. The chosen one who awakens to this reality becomes untouchable. They realize that manipulation always starts with something small, with an apparently harmless gesture, but that hides an invisible thread of control. And it is exactly this thread that needs to be cut. Those who are bothered because you rejected something never wanted to give it to you, but to trap you. And their reaction reveals everything. When a gift is genuine, it can be refused without conflict. But when it comes with ulterior motives, the refusal is seen as a challenge, a sign that you can no longer be controlled. The chosen one needs to be selective with everything that enters their life, from objects and gifts to words and emotional bonds. The energy you accept is the energy you carry. And those who try to manipulate, you know this. They know that if they can get you to accept something, they will also infiltrate your mind, your spirit, your emotions. But now, you understand the game. You know that true power isn't in what you receive, but in what you have the courage to refuse. Because the one who knows how to say no will never be enslaved. Many still live trapped in promises they never made, in expectations they never agreed to meet, in burdens they never asked to carry. But everything can be broken the moment you choose to break free. The enemy can't force you to do anything. They only deceive you so that you imprison yourself. But now that you see beyond the veil, now that you understand what's at stake, the decision is yours. You can continue accepting what weakens you, or you can finally rise up and cut all the ties that bind you. And the choice must be made now. The gift that reaches you may be the last attempt from those trying to divert you. It could be the last trick of those who no longer have control over your journey. But you already know the answer. You already know what needs to be done. Chosen one. What doesn't come to strengthen you comes to trap you. And if something burdens you, it doesn't belong to you. Don't hesitate. Don't accept. Don't carry anything that didn't come directly from the hands of God. Your freedom is worth more than any gift. Chosen one, you have come this far because your soul recognized this truth. You have already felt the invisible weight of certain gifts, already realized the silent burden of something that was handed to you without you asking for it. But now, you know what to do. You don't need to carry anything that doesn't resonate with your spirit. You don't have to accept what comes with ulterior motives. From today on, you will no longer be ensnared by favors that come with hidden costs. The chosen one who learns to say no becomes free. And freedom is the greatest gift that no one can steal from you. That's why write in the comments, "I say no," so you manifest your power through words, putting an end to manipulations. Don't forget to leave your like on the video, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe right now to the channel, as well as activate the notification bell. Take the opportunity to share this video with another chosen one, because the truth needs to be spread. If you wish to support this work and help this message continue reaching more people, consider contributing through our Buy Me a Coffee at the link pinned in the first comment. Your support allows this mission to continue, taking this truth to more chosen ones around the world. Now, I invite you to continue this journey. On the screen, there is a video that will go even deeper into this revelation and show you aspects of your path you may not have fully understood yet. Here you will find answers to questions you may not even know you needed to ask. Click now and continue your awakening. Chosen one, your freedom is in your hands. Stay strong. Stay awake. We'll see each other soon, and may God bless you.